Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Vaden of Buford. We have a great show lined up this afternoon, so stay tuned for more North of the Broad. Welcome to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Vaden of Buford. I'm joined this afternoon by Buford City Councilman Stephen Murray. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, Karen.
Happy to have you here.
Yeah, always happy to come on the show and see you and tell you about what's going on in the city of Buford.
Well, absolutely. We know there's a lot going on in the city of Buford, and so the number one priority, the hot ticket item, is definitely the Boundary Street project. So give the viewers an update, sort of let us know what's going on, what some of the things have occurred, maybe talk about the time frame, and I think everyone would like to know how long we're going to be living in this little bit of chaos.
Absolutely. So, if you've had a renovation project at your house or your place of business, it's uncomfortable, it's inconvenient. My business is out here in Burton, and my house is downtown, so I travel the stretch daily, sometimes multiple times, so I understand the frustration of some drivers. The good news is we're about 20% of the way through the project. The duct bank on the right-hand side of the road, which you see they've closed access at times, they're about 95% complete with the duct bank. So right now we're on time. We're only about $30,000 over budget, which isn't much over a $32 million project.
Right, small percentages.
It's a 2-year time frame. So again, we're 20% of the way through. So we're hoping not this January, but the following January, the project will be complete. And we hope that we will look back and say, this is an amazing project. Why didn't we do it sooner?
Right. So some residents are concerned about the raised medians. So could you address that? I know that's how we're going to make left-hand turns and all that. Those are the conversations I'm hearing out in the community.
Absolutely. So the big concern right now is we've put the barrels through there, and the signals are not set up like they will be at the end. So making U-turns, making left turns is very difficult right now. When the project is complete, almost all of the intersections will have left turn arrows. It will allow legal U-turns, which will make it a lot easier. And then there will be parallel roads from Hogarth Street all the way down past the Chick-fil-A that will connect into the major intersection. So there'll be a better rear access to most of the buildings. Raised medians are important for a couple of reasons. That's one of the busiest stretches of road in northern Beaufort County, over 32,000 car trips a day. So raised medians will help not only with traffic flow, getting those 32,000 cars through there quicker, but also with pedestrian safety. By adding raised medians, it lowers by a heavy percentage the chances of pedestrians being struck.
Right, and dissuades people from just jaywalking out into the middle of that strip, that turning lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So they call it the suicide lane. That's actually one of the most accident-prone stretches of road in northern Beaufort County. Typically not fatal accidents, but fender benders that cause delays. And I know anyone who travels that stretch road like I do on a weekly basis, you see those delays.
Yes, you do.
So hopefully the raised medians will help with that issue, especially as we have more volume of traffic as Beaufort continues to grow.
Yeah, and I think we all know that we've got some growing pains going on here. And like anything, it is temporary. That's what I tell myself. When it's done, we'll all be happier and safer for all this work and time and effort that's spent. We had Craig from Sea Eagle on as one of our guests on the previous show not too long ago, and one of the things we talked about was the location of his business and how the construction was impacting his business. And he seemed to have a really good attitude about it, and we did ask him whether or not there were any plans for him to stay in that location. So we do know now that the town or the city has purchased the current Sea Eagle location. Is that correct?
We are in the process. So we voted this week to purchase. We've reached an agreement with Craig. River Pickers LLC is Craig's company. We will have a second vote probably this coming Tuesday to finalize the purchase. As a part of the city and the county's comprehensive plan going back over 10 years, they've identified those properties along that stretch of road from the United Way building all the way to the Wendy's as long-term to be taken down and created a passive park.
Okay.
So the timing has been, I think, good with the Boundary Street project so that, as those businesses have been affected with the construction, now some of them can move if they choose to work with the city or the county or the Open Land Trust.
Right. So hopefully it's a win-win for everybody, that we create some more open space, we get a beautiful view, we get some road improvements.
I hope so, and I think also important with the city purchasing Craig with Sea Eagle, mariculture businesses have a long tradition in northern Beaufort County, and Craig and his company and his family are one of the few mariculture businesses and folks that are still making a living and trying to make a living in a very hard industry that's a big part of who we are
our
as
culture,
as
this
Beaufort
community.
County.
Yep.
And so this will help him. He's purchased Dobson Seafood Docks out on St. Helena Island.
Yeah, he shared that with us when he was on the show.
So his commercial operation out there. And then a part of the agreement is that he'll keep his retail location somewhere along the Boundary Street corridor.
Excellent.
So folks will still have access to local seafood from Craig. This will allow him to expand his operation and hopefully allow him to continue to be successful in his business.
Absolutely, that's what we look for. So it's everybody comes out a winner on the other end.
Well, I hope so.
Yep. So economic development obviously is always you know, an interesting topic here in Beaufort, and over the last year as a newest member of the City Council, you've taken over a big part of in that role in that area. Tell us what you're working on.
Yeah, well, Karen, as you know, economic development is one of my biggest passion. As a Beaufort native, you know, I've got a lot of friends who've moved off, would love to live in this area. We've seen the per capita income plummet in the city of Beaufort over the last decade. If you read the newspaper over the last month, you've seen that 21 to 44-year-olds have been leaving the city of Beaufort in droves, almost 25% over the last 15 years.
Because they need jobs.
So they need jobs. So I'm passionate about community diversity, about what our community looks like over the next 15 years. So the city's taken a very active position on economic development. And the first thing we've said is that we've got to make sure that our existing business community is successful and growing in the city. So we're bringing business licenses online. So you'll be able to apply for your licenses online. For our accommodations and our hospitality tax businesses, our hotels and restaurants, they'll now be able to pay their local accommodations and hospitality taxes online, hopefully by July of this year. And we're implementing a longevity discount for local businesses. So if you've been here for 7 years, you're going to get a discount on your business license rate.
So obviously the city looking to make things as convenient as possible, encouraging businesses to stay, to grow, and to keep and attract the people that we want to be here and have them work here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to be business friendly. We need a diverse, growing business community to be successful and to be sustainable, and we want our business community to know that we want them here and we want them growing, and that we're trying to be as user friendly as possible and bring the local government into the 21st century and how most of us do our daily business with other
organizations. That's right, whether it's at home or with B2B, however it works.
Yeah. Secondly, we're looking at the knowledge-based economy and trying to attract high-tech entrepreneurs and high-tech jobs and folks who are already here who may have creative ideas or who want to start a high-tech business. And so we're exploring options of how the city can be engaged and help those folks come along. And so I hope maybe in the next 6 months to have some more information about how we intend to do that. Maybe I can come back on.
Well, I was just going to say, you took my line, right. We'd love to have you come back on and tell us how things have moved along. Give us an update on Boundary Street, how things move along with the Sea Eagle, current Sea Eagle property. But thank you so much for being our guest on North of the Broad this afternoon. We look forward to having you back again. And we'll be right back with our next guest on North of the Broad.